There is a space between what a person is and what they are capable of becoming. Every great teacher knows it. Every great trainer has lived in it. It has no formal name in the textbooks, but those who work there recognize it immediately. For 9 years, a man worked on the training floor. He learned to read bodies before prescribing programs. He learned that the intake session, the questions asked before a single rep was performed, was the most important moment in the entire process. What has this person tried before? What failed, and why? What does this body need? Not what does the program demand. He did not know it then, but he was learning to teach. When he arrived at his master's coursework at Cal Baptist University this semester, the frameworks felt familiar. Not because they were simple, because he had been living them for nearly a decade, without the language to name them. The first principle a great trainer learns is also the first principle a great teacher must internalize. You do not prescribe the program before you know the person, not their potential, not the average, not the student you expected to walk through the door, but the one who actually did. Universal design for learning asks educators to hold this same truth. Design for the range of human experience, not the imaginary center of it. Every learner arrives with a history, a set of strengths that no rubric fully captures, and a set of barriers that no standardized test ever asked about. The intake session never ends. It simply changes form. There is something every trainer discovers, usually early and usually the hard way. You cannot teach a squat by describing a squat. You can explain foot position, hip hinge, neutral spine, knee tracking. You can demonstrate it perfectly, and the client will still have to get under the bar, find the movement in their own body, fail at it, and find it again. Knowledge, it turns out, is not transmitted, it is constructed. Kilbane and Milman write that the teacher's role is not to deliver understanding, but to design the conditions under which understanding becomes possible. The trainer who grasps this stops performing expertise and starts building environments. The teacher who grasps this does the same. There is a place every serious trainer learns to find: the edge of current capacity. Load the bar below it, and nothing grows. Load it beyond it too soon, and something breaks. The work happens at the edge, precisely there, nowhere else. Vygotsky named this territory the zone of proximal development. The distance between what a learner can do independently and what they can do when accompanied by someone who knows where the edge is. Scaffolding is not hand-holding. It is the spotter's presence, close enough to catch the bar, far enough away to let the lifter discover what they are made of. In 9 years of training, a pattern became impossible to ignore. The clients who made the most progress were rarely the most gifted. They were the ones who came back after the weeks when nothing worked, who adjusted when the program wasn't serving them, who understood, on some level, that the outcome was not fixed. Carol Dweck spent decades studying this phenomenon and gave it a name: the growth mindset. The belief that ability is not a ceiling, but a current address. What the research reveals, and what the training floor confirms, is that this belief is not merely motivational, It is a performance variable. It changes outcomes, and it is shaped powerfully by the language of the people who stand beside you while you do the work. There is a rule on the training floor that omits no exceptions. You do not load weight onto broken form. A client moving incorrectly under 95 pounds will move incorrectly under 135. The pattern is already encoded. The nervous system has already decided what this movement looks like. The only path forward is to strip the weight, rebuild the foundation, and load again only when the form is sound. Natalie Wexler argues that classrooms make this mistake at scale. When students lack foundational vocabulary, when the schemas are absent or incomplete, adding more complex content does not close the gap. It widens it. There is nowhere for the new knowledge to land. Form before weight, in the gym, and in every classroom worth walking into. Every discipline has its tools. The trainer has the program, the assessment, the periodization, the intentional progression designed around a specific human being. The teacher has the lesson, the pre-assessment, the scaffold, the purposeful sequence designed around a specific learner. This semester, artificial intelligence entered that process, not as a shortcut, as a design collaborator, a tool that asks better follow-up questions than most partners do, that stress-tested arguments, that help translate theory into materials a real classroom could use. A good thinking partner makes your thinking better, whatever form it takes. There is a question worth sitting with. For anyone who has stood on both sides of this metaphor, what does it mean to truly know your learner? Not their test score, not their IEP number, not the label the system assigned them before you ever met. What does it mean to design not for the student you expected, but for the one who showed up? The training floor taught one answer. Stay curious. Ask before you prescribe. Find the edge and work there. Strip the weight when the form breaks down. Believe without reservation that the person in front of you is not finished yet. 9 years in that room prepared for something that had no name at the time. Now it does. The gym never closed. It simply changed address.